I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor, wealth manager by trade, and your rich auntie. Today, I'm talking about what it's like to enter your 50s with absolutely nothing saved for retirement. You may think it's uncommon, but actually, 50% of all Americans have nothing saved in their retirement accounts. Many Americans live on Social Security alone in retirement. It is not that uncommon to see someone in their 50s who have absolutely nothing saved for retirement. I don't see it as a wealth manager anymore, but when I worked as a financial advisor, I would see it every now and again. And I'm going to tell you what I see as a financial advisor and wealth manager and how you can potentially fix this issue. So stay with me. So typically, when someone has zero saved by age 50 for retirement, there's a story, there's an explanation behind it. One explanation is health. I have clients, or I've spoken to people who have very serious health matters, long term chronic health conditions like lupus, cancers, diabetes, type 1 diabetes, etc., that completely threw them off their game in their 20s and 30s, and they feel like they just established themselves in a working career in their 40s. And so, of course, they're going to be late to the game simply because they were spending most of their youth dealing with chronic health issues, and they have just reached a stage of life where they said, okay, I'm going to live, and I could live for a long time or a while. I need to set aside money for retirement, and I need to come up with a plan quick. Second people are people who typically end up in a divorce where the retirement accounts were split, or both partners had very little money in the retirement account. So when the retirement accounts are split, the person may have $20,000 in an IRA, and that is it. For all intents and purposes, this person is starting over from zero. So health issues, divorce. Another issue is just a change in circumstances. Maybe the person was long-term unemployed or had some really disastrous change in their life circumstance where they ended up wiping out most of their retirement savings to deal with whatever life circumstance issue that they were faced with. And so they're back at 50 starting all over again. But by far and large, most people who have no dollars saved for retirement at age 50 just didn't do it. They just didn't do it. They didn't earn enough money. They thought they would never get old. They thought that the government would come up with some solution. They just weren't focused on the goal of retirement. And so they never really hunkered down and saved anything for retirement. And now that they're 50, either they have become alarmed or other people in their lives have become alarmed and referred them to a financial advisor so they can sit and speak to a professional about what their options are in terms of retirement. So, the first things first, with talking with someone who has zero saved for retirement at 50, I like to ascertain what priority is saving for retirement for them, because it's hard when someone just will not prioritize saving for retirement but will prioritize everything else. There's just not much you can do with those people. A good example is a woman came to see me. She had nothing saved for retirement, but I was watching her as she pulled up to my office parking lot, and she had a brand new car. I asked her what the car payment was on that brand new car, and it was pretty significant. It was about $800 a month. I asked what she drove before she drove that car. It was like an 8-year-old car that was in good condition. So she didn't buy this new car because the old car broke down or was in terrible condition, or she'd been driving it for 20 years and it just didn't make sense anymore. She had a new car just because she wanted a new car, but she had nothing in retirement savings. And when I asked what was she willing to change in her life in order to generate the resources she needed to save for retirement, she really didn't have a good answer. I didn't take her on as a client because she wasn't willing to make the sacrifices necessary in order to save for retirement. She just didn't see the point and just refused to get the point, and was willing to divest money all other places, from cars to dinners out, instead of saving for retirement. If you have nothing in your retirement account at age 50, or you're starting over again, you really have to decide that outside the basics of roof over your head, clothing, food, Retirement has to be number one priority. It has to be number one priority. It has to be one of the largest line items in your budget, full stop, if this is going to work. The second thing, if you're starting over at 50 or you have nothing saved for retirement, you're going to have to work until age 70 or beyond. The early retirement is just not going to be an option. Even retirement in your 60s will not be an option. 70 has to be the magic number. If you can do 72 or 75, even better, but you're going to work from 50 to age 70. You need to wait until age 70 to take Social Security. You cannot take Social Security at 67, which is full retirement age. You're going to take Social Security at age 70, and you're going to continue working throughout your entire 60s. Now, I'm assuming in talking through this that this person is single, so they're not married. They're either divorced or they never married or they're widowed. And I'm going to assume that this person doesn't have any kids and this person doesn't have any windfalls like the next week Powerball number or an inheritance that they're going to be relying on to make retirement work for themselves. Because I've sat and talked to people who even at 50 just don't get the message or don't believe in the power of retirement savings. They have all sorts of excuses. Well, what if I die before I retire? I always come back with, well, what if you live? What if you live? Okay, you planned out your death. You said, I'm going to be dead by the time I'm 70, blah, blah, blah. What if you're not dead? What if you're impoverished in 70? Or you get all sorts of excuses and explanations why they just can't save for retirement or just won't save for retirement. It can be frustrating as a financial advisor because I know if I had their cooperation and if I had their buy-in, I really could change their lives for the better. But I also understand I'm a financial advisor. I'm not a magician. I can't make money appear where there is none, and I can't make someone compliant and willing to go along with the plan of action if that's just not in their nature or if that's just not where they are at the moment. So let's say person is 50, not married, no kids. They're all on board with making a change in retirement, but they're not a super high income earner like I usually talk about on my channel. They're working a 9 to 5 job. They may earn, let's say, $80,000 a year. Here in California, life is expensive. I would tell them this. Look at their company first. Does their company have a 401k plan? If their company has a 401k plan, don't walk to the 401k administrator or to HR and sign up for that 401k plan. Oftentimes when I talk to people who are 50 with no retirement savings, their company did have a 401k plan, they just never signed up for it. That's first things first. You're going to sign up for the company 401k plan. You're going to pray that the company has a match. Some companies do, many companies don't. I'm going to say, for example, this person has a 401k plan in their company, but they do not have a match, and they're just going to have to do it themselves. They like their job. They're going to stay at their job for the time being, but their company will not match them. Okay, you can do up to, at age 50, almost $30,000 a year in a retirement account. Realistically, if someone is earning $80,000 a year, they're not going to be able to put away $30,000 of that for retirement. It's a bridge too far for many people. So I'll say, okay, you can't do $30,000 a year. You're going to do $10,000 a year. If it's a stretch, I don't care. You're going to need at least $10,000 a year to make this plan work. And you're going to have to cut back on a few things, maybe not take that vacation or buy a new car, because you need to come up with $10,000 a year that you can put into your retirement account. So that squares out to about $833 a month, or about $415 a paycheck if you get 2 paychecks every single month. It's a significant amount of money if someone hasn't been doing it. And I totally understand that. I totally get it. But you have to put away money. This is the only way this is going to work. So let's say the person is compliant and agrees to put away $833 a month or $10,000 a year. They don't have a company match. Let's say an average 8% rate of return over the next 20 years. When that person reaches the age of 70, they'll have over just $500,000 in a retirement account. Sounds like a significant amount of money, but when you factor in inflation, that's probably about $280,000 to $300,000 in today's dollars in a retirement account 20 years from now. When you think about the average retirement account having just over $100,000, that's actually a pretty good position to be in. Will that person be able to retire in the San Francisco Bay Area? Probably not. It'll be a retirement, but it will be a retirement of compromise, but it will be a retirement. This is a lot better than many people get. I would also tell them if your company has a Roth program, and odds are your company has a Roth 401k, if you can do 100% of your contribution in a Roth IRA, hooray. Because the ledge that this person is on in the next 20 years is so narrow when they retire. You don't want taxes blowing them out of the water. And if it's all taxable income, it's all traditional 401k money, they're going to get blown out of the water by the federal government and whatever state government with taxes. So if they can't do 100% in a Roth, if they can do 50-50 Roth traditional, but we need to have some money that will not be taxable at retirement in order to make this plan work. What I would also say is once you sign up for the 401k or once you sign up for the Roth 401k, pray for a company match. If your company will come along with a company match, that's fantastic. If you change companies in the future, you need to pay very special attention to their retirement plan. Do they have a match? Should be one of the questions you're asking for, and you should evaluate the job on whether or not they have a match and what percentage that match is, and are you immediately vested in that match, which is very important. You can't miss a month and you can't take a break with this. It's 20 years full throttle from age 50 to age 70. So if you become unemployed during that period of time, that's going to affect the number. If you decide to take a sabbatical, that's going to affect the number. If you decide that for 6 months you've got something else going on and you just can't make this contribution to retirement, that's going to dramatically affect your number. You really don't have any options to take a break or slack off. You have to go full throttle for the next 20 years in order for this to work. And I would really emphasize that point. You really better hope that this job holds up well and that you can continue to work both physically and emotionally into your 70s. 1 out of 5 people over the age of 70 still works. Most Americans don't make it to age 70, and that's because of a variety of reasons, including family, health, laid off, and you're in a field that is ageist against older people. But you really have to hope that your job and your occupation can hold out at least to your early 70s. If you can work part-time into your early 70s, even better. So let's say your plan is to work full-time from age 50 to 70 and your health holds out and you're able to do it, and you're going to go to part-time from age 70 to 72 or 70 to 75, this picture gets even better. Also, I would say you might want to look at a job if you're changing jobs to find a job with pension benefits. Maybe go work for the state or maybe go work for a county that has good pension benefits where you can put in 10 or 15 years and end up with a pretty tidy pension. If you do find a job with a pension, you're going to continue contributing to the 401k plan. But in addition to Social Security, you will also get a pension. You have to make sure that your pension does not integrate with Social Security. That's a whole other category, and I'm not going to get into that because it's quite complicated. But you need your full pension in addition to Social Security in order to make this picture work for you. So there you have it. There are some ideas and tips for people who are starting at zero for saving for retirement. Saving for retirement is always time and compounding interest. And if you're either short on time or you're short on compounding interest, you have a big problem. 50 is kind of the last cutoff point where you can get a solid 20 years in potentially to save for retirement. And it's the last critical milestone to really live potentially a comfortable retirement, but a retirement of compromise. I'm going to do another video on starting saving retirement at age 60, and the numbers are dramatically different. So if you are around age 50, or if you have a friend who's around age 50 and hasn't started saving for retirement, share this video with them. And if you found this information useful, please like, please share, and please subscribe. Thank you.